Hello everyone, this is Mike. Welcome to my channel, Mike the Tech Savvy. This is the moment I've been waiting for a couple of weeks now. Finally, in front of me I have the Samsung Galaxy S21. Of course, the 5G version because this is the most common one. I have chosen this device because it's the most compact out of the 2021 lineup. And given the time into compact devices, I thought, why not try the standard S21? I have just received this. The courier just arrived and I will be unboxing this phone and I'll take a first look. Of course, some more detailed reviews and comparisons, and why not, routing guides and probably custom ROM reviews will arrive as well. But for now, let's just focus on the unboxing and on a short overview of this 2021 flagship. To assist me in this unboxing, I have my trustworthy Victorinox Swiss Army knife. Let's open it up. Here's the box. Yeah, it is much slimmer than usual. You can definitely see that it's quite thin. On the left side we have a very nice purple-ish Galaxy logo here. On the front, 21 and S. On the right side we do have a Samsung writing, and on the back some details, but no more specs. Usually we had some more basic specs on the back as well. Let's just zoom in a bit because we have a part that it's pretty interesting here. As you can see, the first row clearly states that the box does not include travel adapter nor headphones. Those are sold separately. Even before the unboxing itself, we arrived to the thing that I dislike the most already about this S21. The fact that for a lot of money, for a flagship grade device, they do not offer a charging brick under the pretense that they're doing it for the environment, but they keep selling them separately in separate packages. I'm not really a fan of this measure, and they've definitely followed Apple. Let's move on with the unboxing. For the moment of truth. In the top part here we have, well, I guess the usual things, some user guides and SIM ejector tool. Here we have the S21, which of course I bought in the Thanos shade, which is the purple-ish thing that we can see here. It is purple and some sort of rose gold color here for the edge and for the camera bump here. It's pretty interesting. It's definitely the color combination that I like the most. Let's see if there's anything else in the box. I'm already underwhelmed, so I'm not expecting much other than a cable. Okay, so nothing left here. But we do have a box here. Let's check what's inside. And yeah, unfortunately, we do have the warranty card, and we do have a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. And at this point I will discuss one thing before moving on with the device. I do have some travel adapters from previous Samsung devices, and I will show them to you right now. Let me just put everything aside for a second. I have here two Samsung travel adapters. This is the first one that I'm gonna show to the camera. It's a 5-watt charger. Yes, you might say this is quite old, and yeah, it does have a USB Type-A port. This one is a 10-watt charger, and again it has a USB Type-A port. And now my question comes, what charger should I use to charge my S21 device? It's true that the latest laptop models have USB Type-C ports, so you might say that you can charge it off a laptop. It's true that the latest motherboards for PCs have USB Type-C ports. It's not really a rule of thumb here, it's just a case which only happens if you have a new-ish device. If you have an older device, you definitely don't have USB Type-C ports on it. So my question is, should I buy a new travel adapter from Samsung? Of course separately, one which has a Type-C port so I can charge my S21 device? Yeah, and the answer it seems to be yes. Let's power it up and I'll discuss the pricing meanwhile. Theoretically, in the US, this phone costs $799. It might sound like a good price. The thing is, in Europe, you can't really get it for this kind of money. I paid for it about 800 euros, actually a bit more than that, which translates into probably around 850 or even 900 US dollars. And this is the base model, so it's the typical S21. We're not talking about the Plus or the Ultra models. And again, at this point, I'm asking, so for almost 900 US dollars, they couldn't really offer a charger in the package. Yeah, I won't dwell on this subject anymore. You already know my opinion. Let's take a look at the device itself. The setup wizard here is pretty typical. Very interestingly, for the first time, I'm seeing that you cannot really skip this step in the setup wizard, but you have to have a network connection in order to continue setup, even though this is a brand new device that I just unsealed. It's unusual, but yeah, let's play the game until the end. Let's connect to a Wi-Fi network. The reason is that it wanted to do some setup on the features and services from the service provider. I'll let it perform this setup. Let's take a look at the device itself. So if you would take a look at the device from the front, it's not that different from the S20, honestly. Very unusual for Samsung. On the bottom, we have now the SIM card tray. Usually it was on top. We have the USB Type-C port, speaker, a microphone. On the top part, we have, well, I guess these are a couple of microphones, volume rocker, power key, and nothing on the left side. I won't be setting up this device right now. I will just give you a quick overview. What I can tell you straight away is that, interestingly, the device is very hot, even though I haven't done anything on it. It's hot right here, and I know that below this area you have the CPU and basically the motherboard of the device, and it's quite hot, even though I haven't really performed anything on it. I guess we can safely presume that this device will be quite hot in day-to-day usage as well, just like the S20 was. We can choose our search provider. We'll skip this part. We have, of course, just like Samsung does, face recognition fingerprints, which is here in screen. And now it's getting the phone ready. I'm assuming it will ask me for some extra apps because, or not. I was used to the fact that normally Samsung would ask if I want extra apps, but it looks like this time it installed them by default. So the bloatware is at home here in the new Galaxy S21 flagship. We do have quite a lot of extra apps from Samsung, from Google, from Microsoft. On the flip side, this means that basically you can run almost everything out of the box. There might be some stuff that you don't really use and which you cannot uninstall, which normally is the case. Let's just check it out. Just like Chrome, for example, you can only disable it. Anyway, I guess this is Android 11, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. And yes, we do have Android 11 and the One UI version 3.1 and the small fox here. Security patch level December 2020. Let's check if there are any updates. So today is the 23rd of January. Let's check if the January security patch level is available. I'm assuming it will be, given that the Pixel device had it for weeks now. And indeed, the update is already being downloaded. What you can be sure about is that a few updates will come with this device. These updates will definitely improve the user experience, and they will take care of some of the bugs that might have been initially. What I like, and this is a feature that I liked with the S20 as well, is that the scrolling is butter smooth. Let's check out the settings. Yes, so you do have this toggle here. You can choose the motion smoothness, so you can either have it on adaptive or on standard. What's interesting is that it says here that it will adjust the screen refresh rate automatically. So this basically means that it's not 120 Hz all the time, but only when it detects that you need this refresh rate. So basically, if you're reading a PDF or just reading a web page, I'm assuming it will temporarily go down and it will increase whenever you scroll or you do something And unfortunately on the S21 we only have a 1080p display. The previous S20 had a 1440p display, the S10 the same, with the exception of the S10e that had the same resolution as this 1080p. We do have 3 sensors on the back, a ultra wide sensor, a typical wide sensor, and a telephoto lens. The ultra wide sensor is 64 megapixels and the other 2 are 12 megapixels. We do have an LED flash, and very interestingly we do have a protective film on top of the camera. I haven't seen this before on Samsung devices. Of course we do have this protective film on the back as well, and we do have a tree here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a tree here. I'm not really sure why. Probably because of the fact that they've been saving one tree whilst removing the charger from the box. Another thing that it's definitely, well, it might seem like a downside or an advantage. For me, I'm kind of biased to call it a disadvantage and an advantage at the same time, is the fact that you have a plastic back, which, well, feels like a typical plastic back, something that I've gotten used to. I'm using the Pixel 4a as a daily driver, so I'm used to it. And I quite like the fact that it won't break if you drop it. That's a nice thing. But I still believe that for this kind of money, they could have kept the glass back. I quite like this color combination. I wasn't sure how it looked in real life, but it's looking quite nice, honestly. If I would praise Samsung for something, is their consistency and their quality in bringing a solid and reliable device. I was never disappointed in this matter. I've only been using this device for a few minutes and it's pretty hot on the front, on the back, everywhere. It's hot. Yeah, let's take a look at the camera. And in director's view here, you can basically check out exactly what will happen if you would switch the 3 cameras, which is something that I haven't seen before. I like this and I would love if Samsung would add it to the S20 as well. Of course, you get your typical 8K film if that's what you're into. The camera is more or less similar to the S20. What you get in this S21 is probably an improved software algorithm in taking pictures and videos, but from a hardware perspective, I guess there are no differences. Let's install this update. I'm not really sure if anything else will change. I can definitely tell you that the device feels pretty good in hand. Of course, just like with the S20, you don't have a headphone jack. We've gotten used to this. I'm not really sure if people want one anymore. I would, but I may be a minority. The overall finish, I quite like it. Again, it's on par with what Samsung has delivered throughout the years. You do have some antenna bands here. I quite like how it looks, and especially in this color combination, I definitely like its look very much. You can put a transparent case and you'll definitely notice it with much more ease than if it would have been a black device, and other people will definitely notice it more. It's not a color which stands out, this rose gold, and I quite like how it looks. You do have the same battery as with the S20. This S21 has a 4000 mAh battery. I guess it's more or less on par as far as battery life goes with the previous S20. Of course, you do have a improved CPU here. You have the new Exynos CPU. It's based on a 5 nanometers architecture and it should bring some battery life improvements as well. The front camera is still the same and is still in the same position. You do have a round cutout here, which is not large and which doesn't bother me personally. I've gotten used to having a cutout in the screen, so I'm not really bothered by it. And honestly, I'm not really sure if I can go back to a device which has full bezels on the bottom and on the top. This was only an overview, a quick overview of the device, and I tried to bring you some ideas on what was updated on it, at least at a high level. I do like how it feels in hand. What I don't like is the fact that it heats up quite easily. at least from what I could see in this 10-15 minutes while I handled it. I do like the fact that even though you have some compromises, just like with the plastic back, you still get a typical 3 sensor configuration here, even though you don't have a periscope zoom or anything like it, but 3x is more than enough for your typical user. And the update finished. You can definitely see that we have an out-of-the-box experience here. I haven't installed anything or uninstalled anything, and we do have 461 apps. Yeah, it's quite a large number if you ask me. On a blank device to have almost 500 apps in total. I'm sure most of them are system apps or something like that, optimizations that Samsung is bringing in the One UI, but still, 500 is still quite a large number. I'm not sure of a number in the Pixel devices, but I guess it's less than half. At the first sight, it doesn't look like a very huge improvement on the S20. It's more or less like an incremental update which brings a number of things, and yeah, in this case takes some things as well, but it's definitely not anything with a wow factor that really makes a huge difference if you're already familiar or if you already have a Galaxy S20 device. This was my unboxing video and my quick overview of the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G in this very interesting color variant. If you like this video, please press the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more similar videos in the future, also press the subscribe button, which will be displayed right here in the bottom left part. If you have any questions or suggestions for the full review or any other requests about this device, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. In the video description, you'll always find the links to my social media and to my Patreon accounts. This was Mike the Tech Savvy. I wish you a great day. Stay safe, guys. Bye.